Thank you for releasing me, Spyro.
Games, Brains, and Headbanger Life here. Carl and Damon doing another episode of the Flashback series as we are looking at Spyro the Dragon, the original game on PlayStation 1. The platform game developed by Insomniac Games and published by Sony Computer Entertainment for the PlayStation on September 9th, 1998. The first game in the Spyro series that stars the title character, a young purple dragon named Spyro and his dragonfly friend Sparks, who must journey across the Dragon Kingdom to defeat Ganasty Gnorc, who has overtaken the 5 dragon homeworlds by trapping the other dragons in crystal and turning their horde of gems into an army of minions. Spyro the Dragon is an open-ended 3D platformer featuring large, sprawling levels in which the player must locate collectible items, among which are gemstones, crystallized dragons, and stolen dragon eggs. Spyro's abilities as a dragon include Fire Breath, a head-on charge attack, a mid-air glide which you can use to scale large distances, all of which must be used strategically to find items and defeat enemies. Of course, we have done 10 things we love or hate about Spyro the Dragon. So if you want a bit more detail there, go check out those videos. But this is a flashback. So as always, 10 things we like, 10 things we don't, not 10 things, 10 things, things we like, things we don't like, and favorite moments, scenes, bits of music. Let's start with an obvious one for the like that I'm sure you would agree with, which is how this game looks visually. Bright, colorful, pretty, lovely to look at, very easy and warming colors.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a game which you could, because of the colors, you can constantly keep playing and playing and playing it. It is a very beautiful game, you know.
Absolutely, there's no disputing that. Just like there's no disputing variety. And there's variety in the worlds. I'm not talking about levels specifically, I'm more the worlds. So, you know, the Artisan World, Dreamweavers, peacekeepers, things like that, all have their own sort of theme, but all look quite visually different and then give different levels through that. Yourself?
Yeah, I've gone for. I really like the fact that of the amount of collectibles you do, like the gems, dragons, the eggs. It makes it more fun, you know, because obviously it's more exploring. You spend more time in the levels.
Yeah.
You know, so that's always enjoyable.
It's certainly got that aspect for the completionist in you, where you've got to get all these things, every gems and stuff like that, and rewards it in the end as well. Which brings me to excellent gameplay with some very balanced difficulty spikes. Spyro gameplay is excellent. It's a lot of fun. Levels can be completed quickly in some cases. And obviously, as Damon already said, there's the extra of collecting every single gem, dragon egg, dragons themselves, and so on throughout the levels for those extra bits. But also, as the game goes on, the difficulty spikes in the right direction, in the sense that levels never get massively more difficult, but there's more complex paths to gems and more complex things that you need to do, which have balanced really well. So by the time you get to World 4 and all that, it might think, oh my God, this level's quite tough to get those gems, but it brings that satisfaction that you get when you do it correctly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I mean, it's always fun to have obviously different varieties and obviously of difficulty, because obviously if it's just too easy, it'll get boring, you know. So
absolutely, yeah. You got any more?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's on the sort of the variety of levels, but obviously it's particular levels, the flying levels. You know, they're enjoyable, they're fun. I mean, being able to fly, and it's just and it can be difficult too. You know, so I mean, you got to find the perfect route, the perfect path. You know, it's fun.
Yeah, flying levels was my last one as well, which is one of my favorite things about Spyro the Dragon are those flying levels. I love the difficulty that comes with the timer and the system of it, and I love the fact that it's not one set path. There are more than one way to do it. You've just got to kind of decide and work out what is the most accurate and best way to do it. Yeah. You got any more things you want to say about liking the game?
No, that's about it.
Cool. Then things we don't like. Bosses. Bosses are bad. Bosses are bad throughout this game. And it culminates in a terrible boss fight. Final boss fight with Gnasty Gnorc. Bosses are bad. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, I had bosses too, but the bosses are terrible. I mean, one of the ones I got is the camera angles. Mainly in the first one, there's a lot of times where the camera gets stuck, like if against the wall, it's hard to turn. And you know, I mean, especially in like again, although I like the flying levels, there's some points where you got to do sharp turns, and the camera just doesn't turn fast enough.
Yep. Yeah. Voice acting. Isn't great in the game. Spyro particularly sounds pretty horrible. I do love that Elijah Wood in later games would voice Spyro. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
Spyro games, I think from the Xbox onwards, is voiced by Elijah Wood, obviously Frodo Baggins. And I really like that. Whereas the Spyro in the original games is very nasally and high-pitched. And then there are a lot of things like the dragon voices themselves, which aren't great. Voices aren't great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have that one there, but I mean, I've got one about the dragons repeating themselves. They keep repeating themselves. So, and I'm pretty sure, like I think I said in another video that pretty sure that the first 2 dragons, you find them.
So I was editing our 10 things last night, and I checked to see if that was true, and it's not. The first dragon does not repeat. He's not the last. He's
really?
Not. In fact, I've got the clip, and I even write across the screen saying, "Oh, we've got this one wrong." Yeah, I've got the clip where the first dragon and the last dragon, they are different.
Oh, okay. So, well, I stand corrected then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which, as you brought up the last dragon then, that last dragon will lead you into Gnasty's loot, the final level, the bonus level, so to speak, which after all the build-up just isn't that good. Its limitations are annoying. It's like, oh, you get to fly around Gnasty's loot and pick up all the gems, except you can only go so high until Spyro's reached a height, and then he can go higher. And you've got some of the more difficult egg thief chases in it, including the helicopter ones, flying plane ones. That's quite frustrating. It's just not that good.
I've got one particular level. It's treetops. I don't say, but click upwards. treetops. You know, I mean, the running levels. You know, I mean, although it's fun, it is fun. It's enjoyable level, but trying to find out the routes and catching the egg guy is not fun. You can die a lot on that one.
Oh yeah, if you're ever going to lose a lot of lives, it's going to be at treetops because it is a lot of drops, a lot of falling to your death. My last thing about not liking is simply 120% completion. That's not it's not a number. Just keep it 100%. Make it 95%, and then when you reach 100%, you get access to Ganasti's loot. I think the sequel would do 105%.
Yep.
Fucking hell, guys. But yeah, that's it. You got any more?
No, I'm done. But I mean, again, on that 100% thing, I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, if they were planning a trilogy, you could have maybe made it add up to like 300, like to get it in total. I was saying that.
Just keep it 100%. That's it. It's so simple.
Yeah.
Favorite moments, scenes, bits of music. So an obvious favorite moment. You've already mentioned treetops, but making those jumps to get the two particular difficult egg thieves in that game. When you work out a route and you've tried it several times over and you've either failed, not jumped correctly, or mistimed it, or done a wrong jump, and then you do it and you glide over and you're like, oh, yes, making the jumps in treetops, favorite moment.
I mean, it's hard to pick out a particular favorite moment because there's quite a lot in this game. But I mean, there's one thing which stands out, which is it's quite funny and entertaining. It's in the, I think it's like the fourth world, like the fairy tale world, all the jesters and the clowns. It's like points where you've got to try and knock the guys over, but every time there's a guy shooting a bullet at him, like a gun, and he makes them bigger or small. Yep. And it's like a race against time. You know, so that's always quite fun.
Yeah, very memorable. Yeah. And another one I have is that when you've been scouring a level to find that one elusive gem you missed, you've got to the end of the level and you realize you missed one fucking gem. And you don't know where it is, and you're going through the level and you're just like, where the hell is it? You're looking out for a possible little twinkly light that might give you a clue. And then you find that one gem and it comes up saying 400 out of 400 or 200 out of 200. And you're just like, oh, thank fuck. Yes.
Relief. I've got one more, which is again in I believe it's the fourth world, when the fairy's got to give you a kiss, and then obviously you turn into like super fire. There's ones where we got to like run down through like an ant cave and burning the ants. Yep. And actually you've got to be so precise to the last second to get to the last one, and it's proper intense, you know. So
that ties into the increased difficulty because again, the hard part of that comes with getting the last of the monster things in the last part of the cave, because time is so tight for it disappearing. But you don't have to do that unless you want all the gems. So There you go. Yeah. Anything else to add?
No, that's it.
Spyro the Dragon, it is a great game. It's one of the more fondly looked upon games that we have. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?